Brandy for Thunderhorse Descendant. I am here today for Jesse James Beads. I have count them, two bracelet projects for us today. If you've been following along, I made a few little sketches on morning coffee, and we are going to be using the Flamingo Party, because it's a party and your girl loves a party. Flamingo Party. So we're going to be using Flamingo Party from the summer collection. You guys, I keep talking about the summer collection. I love the summer collection. I love all the components, and the beads that are in there are very nice, and I just keep talking about it, and we're just going to keep working with it because it's summer. So let's get on down to the mat, get this party started. All right, party people, here we are on the mat. I am going to do two bracelet projects today. So since we're going to try to get two into one video, I'm going to jump right into the first one, and we will take a look at the beads. All right, here we are on the mat. So I do have two bracelet designs for you today. We are going to try to do them both in this video using the Flamingo Party from the Summer Fun collection. So, but not to get confusing, we're going to just start with this one. This one is a double wrap beaded bracelet with a button closure. So if you've been following along with us, you know that we've been designing up on morning coffee on YouTube. So I just want to give you guys a little look at these beads and these little charms. I'm so excited. And I'll tell you a little bit about what we're going to use today. So this link right here actually is a link off of the Big Girl chain. That one can be found on Jesse James Beads as well. All of these items can. I'm going to be using the Soft Flex in medium for the beaded portion of this. And then here's just a little look-see at some of the beads. I know that you guys have probably seen these, you know, but they're really good. We've got some howlite, we've got some glass, some crystal, some wood, all these cute little charms that came in there. Look at this little, I mean, come on now. Flamingo time. And so I'm super excited about this. We also got these, which we're going to dooley up just for earrings. After all this bracelet making, I don't know if I'll have time to do that, but we'll see. Now, I did want to touch base on this. This is a button that I actually got at Walmart, but it is from Dress It Up Buttons, which is Jesse James Beads' sister company. So if you're not aware, you can hit up the buttons section at your local Walmart or your Hobby Lobby store. I think they're in there too. Or you can visit Dress It Up Buttons online. I'll put a link in this video. But we are going to use a button. And we're also going to use this Beadalon leather. This was left over from a project that I did. I think it was that beach necklace. And you get quite a lot in that package because I've used that numerous times. So these beads right here, I did want to show them to you, but these are going to be for our second project, which is why I have them sorted out. So that's all those little glass flowers, and I think about 6 or 8 of those green crystals, and we're going to use that on the other bracelet. Okay, so I'm just going to put those to the side for now. Let's get this party started, shall we? So to start out with, I'm going to be using the Soft Flex beading wire. So I'm going to I've already pre-cut myself 15 inches of the Soft Flex medium. This one is called Fluorite color. I originally got this on JJB. I don't know if it's on there anymore. I've had that color for a little while now. But I've got 15 inches here, and I'm going to take my crimp bead. And I'm going to take my button. So if you're not aware, this is a button from Dress It Up Buttons. I purchased this at Walmart. So that is Jesse James Beads' sister company, and if you're in need of a button, you can visit Walmart, you could visit Hobby Lobby, you could visit the website for Dress It Up Buttons. So just FYI on that. I thought this was going to go pretty good with this bracelet. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to start the crimp right here. I am going to leave this a little loose because this button is going to be the closure of our bracelet, and I want it to be able to move around so that it doesn't, so it's not so tight that it, you know, breaks or something. So I'm going to go in here, I'm going to do the crimp. So I'm going into, got to make sure that this is not twisted. There we go. So I'm going to go into the one closest to me first, give it a squish, turn it, and then the one furthest away from me, and kind of roll it onto itself. And then you should have something that looks like that. So now I am going to use a bead cover. This is just a personal preference. If you don't want to use one, you absolutely would not have to, but I am going to use a bead cover. All right, now we can start our beaded portion. So the idea here is that our beaded portion is going to connect onto this end of the link. Okay, our leather will connect on this side. So then when you wrap it around, you're going to go through the link and you're going to have two times beaded strands, if that makes sense. You'll see what I'm talking about when we get going here. So this is our end, and I'm going to start making a pattern. So I'm going to use these beads that we have here to make this pattern. I'm going to zoom in just a smidge. And I am going to start out with just one of these little crystals. See if he can fit over that little tail. He can. So I'm just going to pick a pattern. Whatever pattern you want to make is perfectly fine. And then we're just going to repeat it. Get this out of the way. We're just going to repeat it until we have 14 inches of beaded strand here. Okay, you little tail, get in there. Alright guys, this is what I got. I am going to connect this onto this big girl link. So I've beaded pretty well all the way up. You wouldn't have to use all this much if you didn't want to. It's completely up to you if you wanted to make sure your pattern was, you know, exactly. But I am going to go ahead and see if this is going to fit on there. Looks like I might have to take off one bead. So I'm just going to take a crimp bead. And I'm going to put it around this link. And go back through here. And I am going to come in with my chain nose and get a hold of that a little better. Don't feel like I got it. There we go. And I am going to make this one a little bit tighter than the one on the button, but not so tight that the beads can't move. These beads have to be able to go like this, okay? And you don't want them to be stiff. So just gonna pull that out a little bit. And once you feel like you got it where you want it, gonna go ahead and do some crimping. That one spun on me. It spun a little bit, but I think it'll be fine. Pull test is good. So, and then I'm going to cover that one as well with a bead cover. Ooh. And I'm going to move everything into place. So this is what you should have. Okay. So now, how this is going to work, see, I want to leave it a little loose so that the beads can go around. And I'll show you how it's supposed to work so you can have a little better idea. So when you go to put this on, you're going to have leather on this side. Okay. We're going to do the leather tail. And so you're going to wrap this around. When you put it on, you're going to bring the button through the link. Okay. Like so. And then you're going to have leather that attaches on this side. So you will have leather that attaches. So you can, all right. There we go. So, as you can see, this one, I made this one purposefully. When I make these for myself, I make them about 12 inches, but I made this one purposefully a little bigger because I have a really tiny wrist. So, now when I'm going to add my leather pieces here for the button, I am going to make 2 sizes for the leather. So like I said, you got a whole bunch of leather here. You don't need to use this much. You can do overhand knots. You could do barrel knots. You could do, you know, whatever you wanted to do. But I think in the interest of saving time on this video, since we have another bracelet to make, I am just going to do overhand knots. So I'm going to do a lark's head knot right here onto the link on the other side. And I can never remember if it's this way I like to go. Yes, it is. Coming in from the bottom. All right. So you really don't need that much. Probably like a 6-inch piece or something if you're going to do what I'm doing here. Just to make it kind of simple for yourself. And then when you're tying these knots, you've got to make sure that your button is going to fit through there. So this is a button closure. So your closure's got to be at least, you know, this big. So as big as whatever button you're using. So I'm just going to make a little mar in the leather right here with my fingernail. And I take this out. And then you can see where I made a little mark on it. I'm just going to go ahead and tie an overhand knot. Like I said, you could use a snazzy, I'm going to give this a trim. A snazzy knot if you want to. And I'm just going to bring this down. So now I should be able to get my button through there. So you want it to be snug, but you don't want it to be so tight that people are going to fight with it when they're trying to get it on. You know, that's going to be hard to get on. So if it is hard to get on, just give it a little loosen, you know, down here. And you should be good to go. Now I am going to do a second knot about the same spacing way, just so if someone wanted to wear it larger, they could do that. Now, I'm just going to kind of eyeball that. Looks pretty good. Now here's an option for you if you want it. If you did another knot here, you could be getting into the territory of wearing this not only for a wrap bracelet, especially if you did a triple wrap, you know, like if you did 20, say you did 20 inches of just beaded, so it could go around your wrist 3 times. At this point, you're getting into the area where you could wear this double as a necklace. So that's up to you, whatever you want to do. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put on our charms. I'm not quite done with that yet, but I'm debating if I want to put some beads on there. So now here's our charms. And I have these Beetle On Findings pack here. And I'm going to use, I want to use kind of a larger, I think I'm going to use a 6 here. Because I want it to move, but I don't want it to be like, you know, super crazy. So, I think I had 1 bead left. I might wind that up, stick him on here as well. That's probably what I will do. I'm going to start actually with this leaf. You guys, these charms in this summer mix are so good. Love them. Love them. Get you down there a little ways so you can see what's going on. So, just opening my jump rings, putting my charm on, and then just putting them on this ring right here. When I saw these flamingos, I automatically thought, oh, bracelet. And I was super excited to make it. Alrighty. I think I will put that 1 bead. Where'd it go? If I can find it. Here it is. Rolled off the mat. I am going to put this 1 bead on there. I'm just going to use a ball head pin. We're going to do a wire wrap on him. What's that? Sticking to me. Get out of here. Okay, wire wrap. So, got my 1 bead on there. And just gonna bend, fold it over, spin all the way to the other side, and then we're gonna wrap. And give him a little trim. And get in there. There we go. So now I think I'm like, oh, do I want to use another jump ring for that little guy? Or do I just want to attach him to the leaf? But I think I am going to give him his own jump ring. I think I will. There we go. So it's the same size. Okay. So I could just attach to the ring, but I think I'm going to attach right here on top of the leaf. So then, when it's hanging, I know it's kind of pink and you can just barely see, but kind of gives that leaf a little something, you know? Alrighty. Alright, guys. So now it's up to you if you want to put a few little beads on. I just got some clear 6s here. And I wonder if they're going to fit on there. Oh, yeah. I got some clear 6s. I'm just going to put 3 on this one side for the tail. And I'm going to tie an overhand knot right here, just to give it a little more finished look. And you could go ahead and hit these knots with some glue if you wanted to. Completely up to you. And then on this one, I'm only going to put 2 of these. Do an overhand knot. And I'm going to kind of taper these so they look tapered. And then I'm going to give them a little trim. So when I do my trimming, I take my cutter and I just cut at an angle. Like that. Okay, so that's what you got. And I think it just kind of gives a little something. So now, here's what we do, you guys. Here is what we do. So we got our charms. When you put this on your wrist, you're going to bring it around through this link, okay? And then you're going to bring it back around your wrist, and you can hook on to either one of these little leathers. Okay? So then, that's what it'll look like when you got it on. Isn't that cute? Let me show you on the bracelet form. And like I said, if you want to do, you know, even more wraps, this link is so big you could probably get through there 3 times. But I think having this link where it goes through there, I think that makes it really cool, in my personal opinion. Gives it a little something extra. And you still got your button on there. You could use any kind of button you want. You got your extra length. So we ended up at about 6 3/4. But now, if we did the other button size, I'm guessing we're going to get probably like 7 1/2. Yeah, about 7 1/2. That's what we got. So, zoom me out, and I'll try it on my actual wrist so you can see. Okay, I'm gonna raise you up just a smidge. All right, so what you're going to do is you're going to put on your wrist, put your button through the link, okay, and then you're going to bring it around, and you're going to button into right here. Oop. I love a good button clasp, let me tell you what. And then your little charmy charms are going to hang down just like that. And there you go. So if you did want to wear it on the first one, like I said, I got a little tiny wrist, and you wanted to snip this off, you very well could do that and not have the extras, you know, the extra. But I kind of give mine a turn, so I got the link, you know, over here, and this kind of goes that way. But yeah, super cute. So that is project number 1 with the flamingos. I will get you some photos also and some video of this. Okay, so that is bracelet number 1. Went smashingly. And you guys, these are just cute all by themselves. I'll probably just wire wrap them up, throw some ear wires on them, and they're gonna match this little guy right here just perfect. And so I'm gonna put those with that. Here's our project number 2. We're gonna do some crisscross flowers. Round 2, you guys. So for round 2, we are going to be using these beads here. So these beads have a center hole. These little flowers. I don't know that we will use these ones. I don't know that we'll need to, but we shall see. And for this bracelet, I'm just going to use a lobster clasp. And you may recognize this little piece of chain. We used, I believe it was during the firework necklace, the Y necklace, I think it was. I'm going to use this little link here, and I'm going to take this portion out and just put a round jump ring, but this is going to be for our extender. So don't ever throw pieces of your chain away because we're going to use them. And then I am going to do a crisscross, I call it crisscross applesauce, situation on here. So if you're not familiar with this, this is natural silk. This is the silk cording that they use for pearl knotting and things like that. I have mine in size 6, number 6, which is 0.7 millimeters. Now this is quite larger than the ones I would normally use, but the reason I like to use this is because one side comes with a needle built in. Okay, and so I'm just going to take all this off here as I explain what we're going to do. So if you didn't have this, and say you had some Ceylon or some Eslon, or you even had some maybe embroidery thread you wanted to use, whatever you got, okay, we're going to use what you got. I'm going to use this, but now we have to have 2 needles going at the same time. So what I do is, since this one already has one built in, but if you didn't have that, I would suggest these beetle-on needles. I took the little thing off, but they are the ones that split open like this. And you can get these little guys. And so if you didn't have the already built inside, you could get and use 2 of these. I am going to use 1 for right now. And basically we will have 2 needles going to create our crisscross applesauce. Now, you are probably like, oh, Randy, it has little kinks in it and stuff like that. I'm not too terribly concerned about it, but if you wanted to, you could take this off in the nighttime, and I think you can put it in, I can't remember what they said, if you put it in water or if you wet it down and then let it dry, it will get the kinks out for you. I think that's what they said. But anyways, not terribly worried about it. Let's get this party started. So we don't have very many beads. Honestly, I don't think we're going to need to use these. You could if you just wanted to have a little variation. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the flower, and then I'm going to put this little green bead in between. So this is just a little what our sketch looked like. So it's pretty simple. We'll put a little tassel on the end, and then we'll have this cute chain for extender. So it doesn't have to be very long. I do have a lot of silk here, but this is just because I don't want to cut it. So what I'm going to do first is I'm just going to get my lobster claw on here. I'm going to zoom you out because I got a lot of string here. And I just want to bring this down to the middle. Gotta find the middle. Hold on. The roundabout middle anyways. Okay. So there's a couple of things you could do. If you wanted to just put a little bead on there, you could. If you wanted to tie a knot, you could. If you wanted to go ahead and use, if you wanted to use a wire guardian, I think I will just use a larger crimp bead, and I'm going to put both of the needles to this larger crimp bead. Now it is silver, but I'm not concerned about that because when I get it crimped and everything, I'm going to cover it up with a gold bead cover. So I am just going to put it in there like that. And I'm going to go ahead and crimp it. If I can get to my crimper here. So just want to make sure it's not tangled up. And if you didn't feel comfortable with this, you could also flat crimp it. And so flat crimping, if you're unaware, would be to just put it on there and then just get a hold of it and flat crimp it like that. So it's completely up to you, whatever you want to do. That one is a little smidged. Hold on, I gotta fix it. Okay, so then after I got that going for me, I'm just gonna cover it up with this gold bead cover because I'm working with gold. Okay, so now I got that going for me. So now what I'm going to do, it's pretty simple to do this. It's not as simple when you have so much string, but you know, it is what it is. Just got to get these separated. Here we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my bead. I'm going to take one of my needles and go in one way. And then I'm going to take the other needle and I'm going to go in the other way. Okay, and then I'm just going to bring it down. And be careful that I didn't tie myself a knot, because I don't want that. This is what I want. So I want it to be kind of loose, but I'm going to be going like this. And these flowers are going to work pretty good because that thread is going to sit kind of right in those little grooves. Okay, so now I will take both threads and I'm going to put on a green crystal on using both needles. Okay, I'm going to bring that down. Just like that. So I'll separate them again. And I'll go with my next bead. I'm going to go one way and one the other way. So you get a nice X like this. I know this one needle is kind of hard to see because it's so small. Okay. Oh, what did I do there? I threaded it. Okay, don't do that. There we go. So, once you get it in there, pull it down. Do-do-do. Just kind of letting it work itself out here. And if you wanted to leave a little more space, you could, but I'm actually going to pull it a little bit tighter. And that's what we're going to get. So I'm just going to keep going like that. Until we get to the end. I'll do one more with you guys, and then I'll probably pop off camera and finish up the rest of them. So I'm gonna put this one through first because that one seems to be a little thicker because I got all this on the bottom. So I think if I put that one through first and then go with this smaller needle, yeah, makes it significantly easier. And that's how it's gonna come together. Okay, so I'm gonna continue on just doing this until I get to the end, and I'll be right back. Here I am at the end. It went pretty smoothly after I got going on my there we go. After I got going on my little pattern. So that's what she looks like. And now what we're going to do is we're going to finish it, and we're going to put on the little tail. So what I want to do is I want to utilize these little links, and I have some beetle-on jump rings here that are round. Hey, Mr. Bunsen! Mr. Bunson's in a mood, per usual, down here in my studio. Just clawing things up. Okay, so I'm utilizing these same beetle-on jump rings that we had. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here and I'm going to snip this little, there's a little ring here, and I'm going to snip that off. And I'm going to connect instead this looks to be about like an 8mm jump ring. Okay. And then also on the other side, I'm gonna clip that little ring. And basically I'm cutting out these little, okay, why is my camera being so silly? What's happening? So basically I'm cutting out these little bars, and I'll probably use those for earrings. So I just want these kind of the decorative links. That's what I want. All right. So now that I have that, I'm going to leave this one empty because this is where I'm going to connect onto. It's a solid piece, so I may as well connect onto there. And take this other side and connect it onto here. This way, it's going to give us more places to hook the lobster clasp versus if we left those bars in there. So now, to finish this, what I'm going to do is I am actually going to tie a knot right here. Now, you don't have to do this if you don't want to. It's completely up to you. But in the interest of not having it slip around too much, I am going to tie a knot there. And then I'm going to give this a trim. I really don't want to cut this needle off. So I guess I'm going to try to work with it on there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take both needles and I'm going to go into this end of this link right here. Bring it down. Get everything all straightened out. So it's like that. Right? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim this off. Where's my scissors? Here it is. Trim this off so I don't have all this other business in my way. And what I'm going to do to finish this, now you could go in and do this with a crimpy just like we did the other side if you want to. It's completely up to you. But what I'm going to do is, since I've tied that knot there, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to tie another knot. I gotta get it. Like this. So, I'm trying to get it to where I can show you. So what I'm going to do is, basically, I'm going to get these strings to fit right underneath. Okay, camera. What are you doing? To get these strings to fit right underneath that knot. So I've made a 4. I'm coming underneath the knot. I'm going to take these little tails and go through there, that hole. Okay. And then before I pull anything tight, I want to make sure that these strings are still underneath that knot. And it rolled on itself. Da 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 da. So this is kind of basically like the maneuver you were going to do with your pearl knotting. Where you got to make sure it's where it needs to be, you know. All right. It slipped out of there. Oh well. It'll be fine. So, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to grab that needle, this one, the removable one, And I'm going to utilize it to hold these tails and take each tail back through this crystal. And I might have to use my, just give it a little tug there. There's one. And it's getting a little more snug now, but hopefully, yep. Whoa! I got him in there. Just about took you guys out in the process, but I did. Okay, so now that I have this down here, I'm just going to go ahead and trim it. So that it's up inside that bead. And there we go. So now to make this side match, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go with my gold. And I'm just going to put this over. If you made your knot small enough, you could put it over your knot, but I'm just going to put it over the strings here, just so that it is on there and that it matches the other side, as you can see. One here, one there. We're looking pretty spectacular, I gotta say. All right, now that we got it tied off, I do have one little bead, so I'm gonna wire wrap that up just like we did on the other bracelet. Because when you got one little bead, why not? I'm just doing a wire wrapped loop on this guy. I hear a cat doing naughty things, you guys. I don't see a cat, but I hear a cat. And beads. That's not good. Mr. Bunsen, what are you doing? Did you hear him? Meow. What are you doing? Yeah. I hear you doing naughtiness. I can hear you. Everybody can hear you. All right. So, I'm going to get this smaller jump ring, and I'm just going to put on my charm, and I'm going to put on this little guy too. I think I want him to be kind of in the front. So I just put them both on this one jump ring, because why add more jump rings, you know? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to hook them on into this flower of this link. And now you have a little bracelet, and it's got multiple places to hook it. So if you had a even smaller wrist, if you needed to go bigger, you would just add more links with jump rings, or you could just add jump rings if you want to. Let me see how big this one is. Here it is. I'm like, where is it? So this is the little more daintier version, and this one is 7 1/4 inches. 7 1/4 inches on the last hook there. I think it's super cute. So, you guys, this is what we've made. We've made this little design here. the Crisscross applesauce. And then we've also made this more funkier, chunkier one with the little charms and the button. Just like that. Probably helpful if you could see. And we still have left to make our earrings. And you guys, we still have, you guys didn't even see these from this Flamingo summer fun. So we still have these 4 left, which we could probably do some of those. I don't know. Oh, well, here we go. We got to put them right on there. There we go. That's where they go. And then we still have this. This is like, could be a whole nother project. I don't know. Might have to do it up. You know how I hate to put my beads away. I just don't like to put my beads away. I'm going to doodle up these earrings real quick. So, to make our matching earrings, we're going to try a little something else here. I'm going to take 2 of these beadle-on round jump rings. I'm looking for, that looks to be about that'll be fine. That's about a 6 probably. And I'm just going to take those and I'm going to put them on here. Now I'm thinking, do I want to hang a little something on there? You know I do. What do we got in here? We got a flower. Do we got 2 flowers? Oh, we got 2 flowers. No problem. Alright, so we're just going to put our little flower charm right on top there. And then I'm going to hook into this eye. Because what's the point of opening it if you don't have to, you know? Like, just let sleeping dogs lie. Okay. Then we're going to go just easy peasy. Look at this. Boom. Boom. And we're going to do a loop. I could do a simple loop with my looper. Should I give that a whirl? Again, I don't normally do this. I usually do a wire wrapped, but why not? It's sitting right here. Okay. Just go with the looper. We're going with the looper. That one actually turned out pretty dang well, I gotta say. And then we'll put him on an earring wire. Okay, so if you run into this issue, no worries. So this one has to hang like that, and this one has to turn. The top one has to turn. And it's okay, because you can get about 1 good turn out of them before they freak out on you. So there's 1 earring. And then these earrings you could wear with either bracelet or both. You could wear all 3 at once if you wanted to. If you really had flamingo vibes that day. And then I'm going to go with the looper again. Maybe I could do it this way. Has anybody experimented with this? I guess I haven't. Oh, yeah, I think think you could do that, and then it should be sitting the right way. You don't gotta turn it. We shall see. Did I put it on there backwards? Yeah. All right. So now, what was going to be 2 bracelets just turned into a whole flamingo set. Isn't that the way it goes, you guys? I dig it. I'm going to get you guys some pictures and little finished product photo video and all that business. But I like it. I like it a lot. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this project. I really had a lot of fun. I really like the flamingos. I've been excited to make the flamingos, and I really like it a lot. I hope you guys will give this video a thumbs up. Please make sure that you're subscribing to not only Thunderhorse Descendant YouTube channel, but also to Jessie James Beads YouTube channel, so you can keep up on all the projects that everybody is doing with all these super fun summer mixes, because I believe there's another one. Citrus. There's a citrus one we haven't even looked at yet. You guys. So, let me know in the comments what your favorite part of the flamingo mix was, your charms. Like, I like the flamingos, but honestly, I really like the little leaves, like the big leaves. Those ones were really cool. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I will see you next time. Have a wonderful and safe, spectacular beading day. Bye-bye.